Kralos, a legendary alien mercenary known for his ruthless efficiency, stood before a high-ranking official in the heart of Zarin Station. This interstellar hub was a bustling metropolis, teeming with life from every corner of the galaxy. Sleek starships zipped through the sky above, while below, a diverse mix of species bartered and traded in the vibrant market stalls. The air was filled with the hum of advanced technology and the chatter of countless alien languages, making Zarin Station a melting pot of cultures and commerce. In a dimly lit room within the station's administrative center, Kralos received his latest mission. The official, a stern-faced alien with multiple eyes and an imposing stature, outlined the details with precision. "Your target," he said, "is a human diplomat named Alex Kane. He poses a significant threat to our interests due to his role in the ongoing peace negotiations on Talora." Kralos listened, his confidence evident in his posture. To him, humans were a lesser species, lacking the physical prowess and technological advancements of many other races. He considered them weak and insignificant. This mission seemed beneath him, a trivial task unworthy of his skills. But the official's insistence on Kane's elimination piqued his curiosity. "A human?" Kralos scoffed. "This will be over quickly." Alex Kane, a seasoned diplomat renowned for his adeptness in navigating the treacherous waters of interstellar politics, stood as a beacon of humanity's burgeoning influence in the galaxy. His assignment had brought him to the neutral planet of Talora, a world where Earth's embassy stood amidst a landscape of unique architecture. The embassy itself was a blend of sleek modern design and traditional Earth aesthetics, symbolizing the delicate balance of power and diplomacy at play. The atmosphere in Talora was tense, the air charged with the unresolved conflicts of alien factions vying for dominance. Kane's role was critical. He was to broker peace between these rival groups, using his diplomatic skills to foster understanding and cooperation. His dedication to this mission was unwavering, driven by a deep belief in humanity's potential to serve as a stabilizing force in the galaxy. Inside the embassy, Kane moved with a calm and purposeful demeanor. His office, a room filled with holographic displays and strategic maps, was a testament to his meticulous nature. He pored over documents and reports, preparing for the intense negotiations ahead. Despite the heavy burden of his responsibilities, Kane remained focused, his mind constantly strategizing the next move to bring about a lasting peace. Unbeknownst to him, danger lurked in the shadows. Kralos, the alien mercenary, was already on Talora, observing Kane's every move. The diplomat's calm was shattered as a series of seemingly random events began to unfold, each more unsettling than the last. A flicker of movement outside his window, the strange malfunction of his security systems, all signs of an impending threat. The tension mounted, but Kane, ever the diplomat, remained composed, unaware that his skills would soon be tested in ways he had never imagined. In the dim corridors of the embassy, the stage was set for a confrontation that would challenge both Kane's diplomatic acumen and Kralos' deadly prowess. The stakes were high, and the outcome uncertain, as the human diplomat unwittingly prepared to face an adversary unlike any he had encountered before. Kralos meticulously planned his approach, spending days in the shadows, surveilling Kane's every movement. His confidence grew as he watched the human diplomat go about his daily routine, seemingly oblivious to the threat looming over him. Kralos observed from hidden vantage points, analyzing Kane's patterns, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. Every detail was noted and calculated, from the timing of Kane's meetings to his preferred routes through the bustling city of Talora. The chosen setting for the assassination was a lively marketplace in the heart of Talora, a place where the chaos of daily life would provide ample cover for the mercenaries' deadly intentions. The marketplace was a vibrant tapestry of colors and sounds, with alien merchants hawking exotic wares and visitors from across the galaxy bartering for goods. Stalls overflowed with shimmering fabrics, strange fruits, and technological gadgets, creating a sensory overload that masked Kralos' presence as he moved through the crowd, his eyes locked on his target. As Kane strolled through the market, engaging in light conversation with a few familiar vendors, Kralos saw his opportunity. The mercenary blended seamlessly into the background, his dark clothing and stealth technology rendering him nearly invisible. He positioned himself on a rooftop overlooking the market, his sniper rifle trained on Kane's head. The bustling scene below provided the perfect backdrop for an untraceable kill. Krallo's finger tightened on the trigger, but at the last possible moment, Kane bent down to examine a piece of alien artwork, causing the shot to miss its mark by a fraction of an inch. The high-velocity projectile whizzed past Kane's ear, shattering a nearby stall in a burst of splinters and sending the marketplace into chaos. Shouts of alarm filled the air as merchants and visitors scattered in all directions, seeking cover from the perceived attack. Kane, instinctively sensing the danger, ducked and rolled behind a sturdy display, his heart pounding in his chest. He scanned the rooftops, trying to identify the source of the shot, but Krallos had already repositioned himself, blending back into the shadows. The human diplomat's narrow escape left him shaken but unharmed, his mind racing to comprehend the sudden threat. From his new vantage point, Krallos watched with growing frustration. He had underestimated the human's reflexes and instincts, traits he had previously dismissed as irrelevant. This failure gnawed at him, challenging his perception of humans as weak and inferior. The mercenary's confidence wavered, replaced by a simmering rage. He would not be bested by a mere human. As the market slowly returned to normalcy, Krallos vowed to finish the job, now driven by a mix of professional pride and a newfound respect for his elusive prey. Krallos, now consumed by his failure, dived deep into an investigation about humans, driven by a need to understand their unexpected resilience. He returned to Zarin Station, the interstellar hub where information flowed as freely as the trade goods. In the dimly lit archives of the station, he pored over ancient alien records, dusty tomes, and digital databases, searching for clues about what had gone wrong. The archives were a labyrinth and complex, filled with the accumulated knowledge of countless civilizations. Krallos navigated through narrow aisles of towering shelves, each one crammed with artifacts and scrolls. His interactions with other mercenaries, seasoned killers who had encountered humans, were filled with skepticism and curiosity. They shared their tales of narrowly missed kills and inexplicable escapes, each story adding to the growing enigma of human survival. One evening, Krallos found himself in a secluded corner of the archive, consulting an ancient holographic record. The projection flickered to life, depicting an alien scholar from centuries past. The scholar spoke of a mysterious, sixth sense, possessed by humans, an almost supernatural ability that allowed them to sense impending danger. This sense, the scholar theorized, was a primitive yet powerful tool for survival, giving humans an edge even against technologically superior foes. As Krallos absorbed this information, a sense of dread mingled with his curiosity. The idea of an innate human ability that defied logic and technology was both fascinating and terrifying. This sixth sense explained Kane's near-miraculous escape and the mercenaries' unprecedented failure. The realization gnawed at Krallos, challenging his beliefs and skills. He had always prided himself on his ability to control and predict outcomes, but this new variable was beyond his understanding. Krallos' obsession with the mission deepened. He spent hours in the archives, studying every mention of human encounters and their uncanny survival stories. He replayed the failed assassination attempt in his mind, analyzing every detail, seeking to identify what he had missed. His professional pride was at stake, but so was his understanding of his own capabilities. The more he learned, the more conflicted he became. Fear began to creep into his thoughts, mingling with his determination. What if humans were not as weak as he had always believed? What if this mission was more than just a job, but a test of his own limits? Krallos' confidence wavered, replaced by a nagging doubt. He knew he had to finish what he started, but now, the mission was no longer just about eliminating a target. It was about confronting an unexpected challenge that defied his very understanding of the universe. Alex Kane sat in his quarters within the Earth Embassy on Talora, his mind preoccupied with the delicate negotiations ahead. The embassy, a secure yet somewhat vulnerable enclave, was a blend of earthly design and Talaran influences. Tall windows allowed the alien sunlight to filter in, casting a serene glow over the minimalist furniture and strategically placed security measures. Despite the calm exterior, Kane's instincts told him something was amiss. He began to notice subtle signs that he was being watched. A flicker of movement outside the window, the unexplained malfunction of his personal security system, and the unusual behavior of the embassy staff all pointed to an unseen threat. His senses, honed by years of diplomatic service in volatile regions, were on high alert. The feeling of being hunted grew stronger with each passing day, an invisible pressure that Kane couldn't ignore. Realizing the severity of the situation, Kane knew he had to act swiftly. He couldn't rely on standard security protocols. His adversary was too skilled. Drawing on his extensive experience in diplomacy and strategy, he began to devise a plan. He mapped out his daily routine, identifying patterns and potential vulnerabilities. He then deliberately altered his behavior, creating a series of false trails to confuse and mislead his pursuer. Kane also reached out discreetly to his most trusted contacts, gathering information and resources without arousing suspicion. He set traps within the embassy, using advanced surveillance equipment to monitor any intrusions. His goal was to lure the assassin into a controlled environment where he could turn the tables. Every move he made was calculated, each decision aimed at gaining the upper hand. Kane's strategic mind was his greatest weapon, and he intended to use it to its fullest. The final confrontation was set in an abandoned industrial complex on the outskirts of Taora. The vast, echoing halls and decaying machinery provided a fitting backdrop for the showdown. The air was thick with tension as both Kane and Kralos prepared for their encounter, each determined to outsmart the other. Kralos arrived first, his movements silent and precise as he scouted the area. He positioned himself in the shadows, his keen eyes scanning for any sign of his prey. Kane, meanwhile, entered the complex through a different route, using his knowledge of the layout to stay one step ahead. He had laid a series of traps and distractions, designed to disorient and delay the assassin. As the two adversaries maneuvered through the maze of rusting metal and flickering lights, the tension mounted. Kane's heart pounded in his chest, but his mind remained clear. He knew that the slightest mistake could be fatal. Kralos, equally focused, was driven by a mix of frustration and determination. The hunt had become personal, and he was resolved to see it through. The climactic battle began with a series of quick, calculated strikes. Kane used the environment to his advantage, leveraging his knowledge of the complex to evade and counter Kralos' attacks. The assassin's superior strength and agility were matched by Kane's resourcefulness and tactical acumen. Sparks flew as metal clashed against metal, the sound echoing through the empty halls. In a desperate bid to end the fight, Kralos lunged at Kane with his wrist blades. Kane, anticipating the move, dodged and retaliated with a swift strike from a makeshift weapon he had fashioned from a piece of the complex's machinery. The blow landed with precision, momentarily stunning the assassin. Seizing the opportunity, Kane activated one of his traps, ensnaring Kralos in a web of high-tension wires. As Kralos struggled to free himself, Kane approached cautiously, keeping his distance. "It's over," he said, his voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through his veins. Kralos glared at him, his pride wounded as much as his body. "You outsmarted me," he admitted grudgingly. Kane nodded, his expression a mix of relief and determination. "Humans have always been underestimated," he replied. "But we're more resilient than you think." With Kralos incapacitated, Kane quickly secured him and called for reinforcements. The encounter had tested him to his limits, but he had emerged victorious. As he watched the alien being taken into custody, he couldn't help but reflect on the unique human traits that had given him the upper hand: intuition, adaptability, and an indomitable spirit. These qualities had not only saved his life but also reinforced humanity's place in the galaxy as a force to be reckoned with. Kralos lay restrained, his body aching from the intense battle and his mind reeling from the realization of his failure. He had underestimated the human, a mistake that now gnawed at his pride. As he watched Kane secure the area and call for reinforcements, a grudging respect began to form within him. Humans were far from the weak, insignificant beings he had once thought. Their resilience and resourcefulness were formidable, and Kralos couldn't deny the skill and determination that had led to his defeat. Alex Kane, battered but triumphant, made his way back to the embassy. The night was quiet, a stark contrast to the chaos of the confrontation. The corridors of the embassy were dimly lit, the soft hum of the security systems the only sound breaking the silence. As Kane entered his quarters, he couldn't help but reflect on the night's events. The encounter had pushed him to his limits, revealing strengths he hadn't fully acknowledged. He realized that humanity's role in the galaxy was more significant than he had ever imagined. Sitting at his desk, Kane allowed himself a moment of quiet reflection. The embassy, usually a hub of activity, now felt like a sanctuary, a place where he could process the implications of what had happened. The themes of resilience and underestimated potential resonated deeply with him. Humans, though often seen as the newcomers on the galactic stage, had shown time and again that they could rise to any challenge. The complexities of interstellar diplomacy had become even more apparent, highlighting the delicate balance between strength and diplomacy that humanity needed to maintain. The Grand Council chamber was abuzz with tension as representatives of various alien species gathered to hear Kane's report. The chamber was a vast, imposing space, filled with the symbols and insignia of countless civilizations. Kane stood at the center, the weight of recent events heavy on his shoulders. He presented a detailed account of the assassination attempt, describing the relentless pursuit by Kralos and the fierce battle that had ensued. The reaction from the council was immediate and varied. Some representatives were visibly shocked, their expressions reflecting a newfound respect for the human diplomat. Others murmured amongst themselves, contemplating the implications of Kane's survival and the abilities he had displayed. The chamber filled with a low hum of discussion, the gravity of the situation sinking in. After a lengthy deliberation, the council reached a decision. A high-ranking member, an elder of a venerable alien race, stood to address the assembly. In light of the events presented and the unique abilities demonstrated by the human diplomat, the Council has decided to declare humans off-limits to mercenaries. This policy change acknowledges their resilience and importance in maintaining galactic stability. Kane felt a profound sense of accomplishment as the decision was announced. This was more than just a personal victory, it was a milestone for humanity. The recognition from the Galactic Council marked a significant shift in how humans were perceived across the galaxy. They were no longer seen as mere newcomers but as essential players in the delicate dance of interstellar politics. Reflecting on his role in these events, Kane couldn't help but feel a sense of pride. His actions had not only ensured his own survival, but had also paved the way for greater respect and cooperation between humans and other species. The policy change was a testament to humanity's growing influence and the recognition of their unique strengths. As he left the council chamber, Kane contemplated the future. He knew there would be more challenges ahead, but he was confident that humanity was ready to face them. The events on Talora had demonstrated that humans were a force to be reckoned with, capable of navigating the complexities of interstellar diplomacy with resilience and ingenuity. Kane's legacy would be one of bridging gaps and fostering understanding, ensuring that humanity's place in the galaxy was secure and respected. Back on Earth, the bustling cityscape thrived under the warm glow of the sun. Streets were filled with the familiar sounds of everyday life, children playing, vendors selling their goods, and the hum of conversations blending into a comforting symphony. It was a stark contrast to the vastness of space politics, a reminder of the simple yet profound lives that Kane's diplomatic missions aimed to protect. Alex Kane stepped out of the shuttle, his heart swelling with a mixture of relief and joy as he spotted his family waiting for him. His children ran towards him, their laughter echoing in the air as they wrapped their arms around him. His wife followed, her eyes filled with pride and love. This homecoming was a powerful reminder of the personal stakes behind his work. Each mission was not just for the abstract concept of peace, but for the safety and future of his loved ones and all humanity. The scene was emblematic of the human spirit, resilient, hopeful, and ever forward-looking. Despite the challenges and dangers faced in the galaxy, humans continued to thrive, driven by an unyielding desire to protect and build a better future. Kane's journey had underscored this indomitable will, showcasing humanity's ability to adapt and overcome. As he looked around at the vibrant life in his city, Kane reflected on the challenges he had faced and the victories won. Each step of the journey had reinforced the enduring human spirit that ensured survival and growth. With the recognition and respect now garnered from the galaxy's most influential beings, the future of humanity looked brighter than ever. United by their resilience and ingenuity, humans were poised to play a pivotal role in shaping the interstellar community, ensuring a legacy of peace and cooperation for generations to come.